Today's topic is going to be on maximizing the service efficiency with OpenAPI and the Dynamics 365. So when I prepared for the session, that was not Copilot, it was not released, but now after recent releases on Copilot for Dynamics 365, there are lots of interesting things that I would like to share, and I tweak the content to basically fit that. So I'll share the details shortly. And before that, a quick introduction about myself. Jeevarajan Kumar. I'm working as a solution architect here in Fusion 5 Auckland, based out of New Zealand. And I'm originally from India, and I'm currently in New Zealand, Auckland. And this is my LinkedIn ID. I'll just flash it for a second. And if you want to connect with me, feel free to connect by scanning this QR code. And here's my Twitter ID here. And here's my website URL. And as I said, I'm also a Microsoft MVP and Microsoft certified trainer. And with that, let's start today's session. And today's agenda is going to be on the introduction to OpenAI and a quick introduction about Dynamics 365 customer engagement, which is also called Dynamics 365 CRM side of the product. And this is just for someone who is starting with CRM or the customer engagement. And then we will see how we can basically increase the service efficiency with OpenAI, just few use cases. And then we'll be seeing what is the recent announcements of the OpenAI or generative AI in Microsoft business application space. So we got Dynamics 365 Copilot, which is some mind-blowing, amazing features that's been released where the business applications will be using the AI in depth, and we'll see the features that's been added to Viva Sales, and also how the Power Virtual Agents has been improvised or made more smarter, I would say, with the help of OpenAI, and how it's finally used in AI Builder. So I'm going to share a few Microsoft videos as well along this presentation. And the first introduction about the OpenAI, as most of you might have already started using ChatGPT, and OpenAI is basically a research and deployment company where the ChatGPT GPT-3 is basically part of their data model, and then DALL-E 2, and they have other data models as well. And Dynamics 365 customer engagement, well, it's not just for customer engagement. There was also announced, there are also some features being added to the ERP side of the product as well. But I am sticking with customer engagement as I'm not experienced or expert in the ERP side of it. And Dynamics 365 customer engagement or CRM, what is that? It's a cloud-based business application platform designed to help organizations manage their interactions, sales, marketing, service, whether on-call service or field service or project service. So that's the a short explanation about the customer engagement. And here is the visual representation of where exactly the Dynamics 365 product fits in and where the Power Platform fits in. So since the focus is around the Microsoft business applications today, so I would like to just give this as I always use this as an base slide or a introduction for someone who is again starting with the product to give them an idea where exactly the product sits in. So as you can see, the whole product leverages the Microsoft Azure cloud, and where the infrastructure is being provided by Azure. And then you have the platform service, which is basically on top of Azure, is the Power Platform. So as part of Power Platform, you have Power Apps, where you have Canvas apps and model-driven apps, and then Power Automate. And Power Automate, workflow automation. The beauty thing about the Power Platform is also low-code and no-code platform. So which means we are talking about less code, and lots of citizen development movement and those kind of stuffs, where the idea is to basically build a rapidly build the business applications without much development effort. And Power Automate is the workflow component of that, and then Power Pages to basically build the website for internal or build the websites for external users, where you can have authenticated users and anonymous users. And Power BI, the analytics and reporting tool, which doesn't need any introduction. And then Power Virtual Agents, which we're going to see today, is a low-code chatbot application where you can basically build chatbots, powerful chatbots within matter of minutes. And Dynamics 365, which basically sits, or it basically leverages the complete Power Platform and also the other features of the Azure. As you can see, it sits on top of the Power Platform. And what we're going to focus here is in this area and here and some here. So in Microsoft Dynamics 365, as I said, we have a CRM side of it and also the ERP side of it. And today the focus is going to be the CRM side of it. And then the Microsoft 365, as it doesn't need an introduction for the Teams and SharePoint, it also sits on top of Power Platform in the sense it leverages the Power Platform extensively as well. And then on top of that, you have all those industry-specific add-ons or accelerators that leverages the Power Platform and Dynamics 365. Hope this has given a decent introduction if for someone who is starting with the product, in terms of Dynamics 365 or Power Platform. And if you're wondering where does this product fits in into the whole Microsoft Cloud ecosystem, this is where it does. Excuse me. And then the customer service with OpenAPI. So when I say customer service, I'm not talking just about the Dynamics 365 customer service, but also that includes the field service as well. So ideally, the customer service with OpenAPI can be leveraged. I couldn't show a demo unfortunately today, but I can give you the background and what you can basically try out and what we are trying to achieve. The idea behind how this can be leveraged in the customer services, we can have a multiple. We can capture the part of the customer service, we can get the interactions with the customer, and we can respond to the customer proactively with all the plethora of information that's available internally and as well as externally with the help of chatbots. So instead of, instead of the customer service consultant or the customer service representative going to the, getting into the knowledge articles and then finding all the internal materials, the documents to basically service the customer. And if he couldn't find anything where he had to go for the external, he had to search and then dig through lots of details from others and then respond to the customer, which basically increases the customer waiting time, and the time that the agent spends with the calls and emails is massive, right? The statistics says that 60% of the time that the seller, not just customer service representative, also the seller spends their time with calls and emails instead of the actually working with the customers and spending time with their productive area. So when you have this kind of technology like OpenAPI, which can basically get the prompt or get the content or text that can be fed into these bots, and they can basically provide you the extensive information that it can find internal and from external repositories. And also you can do sentiment analysis. So as part of the customer's interaction, there are products, of course, that's built on top within the customer Dynamics 365 customer service, which we will see shortly. But what I'm trying to say here is you can also extend it by adding these, by leveraging these services as part of the customer service or model-driven apps. If you're talking only with the Power Apps or even Canvas app, if you're not going to get any Dynamics 365 apps, even you can use this with the Canvas app and model-driven apps to a certain extent. And definitely that will give the next slides or videos that we are going to see that has the native capability of the product of Dynamics 365 will give you an idea of where you can actually extend what has been offered or what you can basically build for the model-driven apps and Canvas apps. And there's some more other features would be like the real-time translation. Yes, you might not get the customers from who speaks English, right? If you're supporting or if your business is across the world, you will have the local language, a territory language that your customer will be raising your request to, or will be asking for any queries where you will be able to address them instantly. And the personalized recommendations, that's another interesting factor when it comes to a effective service. And some more examples would be predictive maintenance. In terms of the maintenance, we can say the model that we have available within the organization will be able to run these APIs on top of it and then get the data before when it happens. And then definitely this can be used in different field service scenarios like the intelligent scheduling and some areas of remote assistance as well. And because it's not just about the text, there's also plenty of APIs like the DALI, which basically gives you the images, and that's based on your research. Let's say imagine a scenario where a field service consultant basically goes and tries to fix the let's say MRI scan equipment, for example, it's a complex one. So when they try to fix it, and like definitely there are remote assistant and other stuff which we'll get into. We'll not get into that now, but when he tries to basically use the product in his phone and then he search for certain things, it can go and find the relevant images or the materials from the internal repository or the external repository, and then it can show it to the user for him to basically use it and then fix that, right? And those kind of stuffs. And then the tools available, what is currently available? Well, when I said tools, this is one of the tools that's been released recently in PCF Gallery. It's a PCF control. For who is new to PCF control, so PCF control is the Power Apps component framework control, which can be built by the using, and then it can be embedded in the model-driven apps or canvas apps. Like it basically uses the similar interface that model-driven app or the Dynamics 365 product uses. And then there's a PCF control that's been developed by Power Maverick, and he goes with the name of Power Maverick. And you can see the Power PCF controls that he has in there. And this ChatGPT PCF control is another PCF control that basically he has put there, and which will basically help you to. It currently looks like this, but you can definitely feel free to extend it, or you can reach out to Danish for that to basically, if you have more inputs, feedbacks, you can do that. But this is not the only way to use the APIs in the model-driven app or Dynamics 365. Definitely, you can basically build your own custom connectors, or you can just, and then you can add it to your Flow, Power Automate, or you can basically add it to your Canvas app and then embed the Canvas app in the model-driven app or Dynamics 365, or you can directly take the values from here and then pass it to the OpenAI and then get the input. So classic scenario, which I was about to show demo, was basically if let's say there is a case that we receive, and then there is a case description that's been provided by the customer, and we can eventually feed that case description into the OpenAI via Power Automate, and then it basically gets the responses from that, and then we can pass it to the app here and then show the suggested responses from the AI right there in the form. So that's a very simple scenario, but you can think about the potential what I'm talking about here. So it's not just for the finding information from the text prompt. It can be an searching image, or it can be doing the sentiment analysis, or more than that, right? And we're gonna see the extensive features that the product has been brought in very recently this week in the, which is called Dynamics 365 Copilot as part of this. So that's what the next discussion is all about. So Dynamics 365 Copilot is basically provides the interactive AI-powered assistance across business functions. So from sales, service, and marketing to supply chain. Today we're going to see how it's going to be used in the sales, how it's used in the service, and marketing from Microsoft. What they have published. We can see that together. And it also brings the power of next generation AI capabilities and natural language processing to Dynamics 365. And in this way, your business professionals, or the sales or customer service representatives, or the field agents can basically, or marketing content creators can basically help to create the contents and resolve the issues, and instead of wasting too much time on building this from the scratch. And it's completely available preview across few Dynamics 365 applications and then Microsoft Viva Sales. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see these features in action that's been published by Microsoft very recently, and it's not available for everyone. Some of them are available in preview, some of them are limited preview, only available to North America region. And so what I have done is, instead of me taking out the information and having it for your understanding, I thought it's better to directly play those videos. It's just 1 minute, 1.5 minute videos, and we'll see them one by one, and that will help give you a complete understanding of what I've been trying to explain here. So the first one we're going to see is on the Copilot with customer service. So this is just a gist of what it looks like, right? It's pretty exciting, right? If you see the customer service, how the Copilot is going to be used, you can see this agent is basically trying to get the, he has all this communications or comms with the customers. And you got the email window here. It's trying to address this customer issue, is basically asking to either she has issue with the Azure Kubernetes service. And here there'll be more options which is not visible. We'll see in the next video. And once the representative basically chose one of that, it will just personalize, create the personalized content based on the content that is available from that repository. And then it brings here from that is very specific to this. And then when they click the copy email, it basically copies the content and drops it here automatically, and where the agent can modify it and tweak it and send it. So we're going to just see that quickly in action, how it does look like. And there you go.
Copilot in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Service revolutionizes the support experience with generative AI. It empowers agents to easily leverage company knowledge, sources, and quickly generate optimized responses for customers in a single click. Copilot makes agents more productive and helps them deliver better customer experiences. Let's look at an example from Microsoft Azure, which uses Dynamics 365 Customer Service and has thousands of support engineers handling millions of requests every year. Ivan is a support agent at Microsoft. He answers complex customer questions on Azure sent via email. On his agent desktop, he sees the inbox to the left of the screen, and in the center, he can see all the relevant information and timeline for the case he is working on. He notices an email received from Claudia asking about a configuration issue with their Azure Kubernetes service cluster. Usually, responding to this kind of complex issue would take Ivan several minutes. He would spend time searching through multiple knowledge articles, finding the relevant section that connects with the customer's specific issue, and then writing up a response to the customer. Today, he is using Copilot. Copilot expands on the right side of his screen and helps him draft the perfect reply with just one click using generative AI. He can even provide custom prompts for the most complex cases. Copilot saves him time and helps deliver high-quality service. Copilot knows all of the context from trusted websites and Azure's internal data, including customer name and relevant knowledge articles, so Ivan doesn't have to spend time searching or typing. Now, he just has to review the response. The draft looks great, and with one click, he copies it into the email editor and sends it out, feeling confident that his customer is receiving the prompt, friendly service they deserve. Soon after, Ivan sees an incoming chat from another customer, Diane. The chat appears on the left side of his screen. In the middle, he has the relevant information for his customer. And on the right, Copilot is ready to help him. The Power Virtual Agents bot has already summarized that the customer is having trouble logging into their Visual Studio account. This helps him get a jump start on this conversation. Rather than searching on his own, he turns to Copilot for help, which uses generative AI to surface the latest information that is typically found across Azure's vast set of internal documents, including previously resolved case notes and published knowledge articles. Having already saved time researching, Ivan is able to follow up quickly with the customer to gather the right details needed to investigate. With the error code in hand, he checks in with Copilot one more time. In a single click, Copilot summarizes the customer issue from the live chat conversation and drafts a response that he can share. It appears the document which Copilot used to formulate this response is the right one, but Ivan knows he can always click through the source links to verify or make any edits to the response if he needs to. Satisfied, he decides to send it to the customer. This interaction shows the true power of Copilot. Even as a new support agent, Ivan feels empowered with the knowledge of his entire organization to resolve issues quickly.
Yeah, so how exciting is that, right? So instead of just the Copilot basically picks up the content from the agent's chat, and then it basically drives that information, and it looks through into the knowledge articles, internal case data, and also the external data or any company data internally that you want to have, and that will give the flexibility to modify it or tweak it. And the next one we have here is the from the sales standpoint. So the Dynamics 365 sales and Viva sales, right? And how the Copilot basically helps in the Viva sales, helps the sellers to basically reduce their time and they spend on the critical task, right? And so that they can spend time on the critical task. So if you see now the video on the sales, It's going to be more interesting, to be honest with you, how it's going to pick the data from the Teams meeting and how it's going to get the data for writing and composing an email. We'll just see shortly.
Microsoft Viva Sales revolutionizes the seller experience. Kelly is a busy seller who gets help from Copilot in Viva Sales, which is available to Dynamics 365 sales customers and as a standalone offering to connect with Salesforce CRM. Copilot helps her to craft a response. Viva Sales automatically generates a suggested reply enriched with the content from the CRM data. You can see there is a mention of the product, the number of units, and the price point, all seamlessly taken from the opportunity data and combined with the email context. With the content complete, she can simply copy the message to her email, make any minor adjustments to suit her style, and send. Not only is this far more effective than crafting a message from scratch, but Viva Sales can instantly store and update the insight back into CRM. As we take a look at Daisy, she uses the power of AI to help run world-class customer calls and meetings by taking notes so she can focus on the customer in her calls. Sales Conversation Intelligence in Microsoft Teams captures the key meeting highlights, questions asked, and even follow-ups. Now Daisy can take this data and create a simple follow-up summary across to her customer to build trust.
Yes, so that's on the Viva Sales. As you can see, how the seller basically able to do that response or follow for the customer without trying to figure out what was the history and what is the current status and what is the data in CRM. It all basically summarize and give nicely packed it in the part of the Outlook. And then the seller, he or she should be able to select it and then modify it and send it from there. And the Teams call that if you see that how it basically does, it does the complete analysis of what is the key points discussed, what is the follow-up that might require, and what is the tone and all those stuff. And with that, it will be able to again create the proposal or whatever it is, right? The sales that are required to do that. And that's how it's massively, it helps in the sales. And the customer insights is the next one, where you can see how we're able to use this natural language processing query to basically get the complex result and data out of that.
Martina is a marketer at Campari Group, a worldwide leader in the spirits industry. Campari Group is looking to increase awareness of Negroni Week, an event that celebrates one of the world's greatest cocktails and raises money for global charitable causes. Using Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Insights, Martina can review unified customer data to target the best region for an email campaign to promote the event. She believes New York City is a good location and wants to validate her hypothesis. With Copilot and Dynamics 365 Customer Insights, Martina can have a dialogue with her data to discover new customer insights to deliver targeted marketing campaigns. Using simple natural language, she can ask for insights. Martina is a marketer at Campari.
Yes, sorry about that. I think it is not playing completely. What happens is when the agent was she was trying to basically search the customer insights in the previous one, it basically gets her the complete information from a unified profile. So if you are new to customer insights, there are, even I had did a presentation on the customer insights a long time back. Basically, you can get all the unified profile data for the customer from different data sources, which are ingested from different data sources. And instead of you doing the complex query to get the result out of it, now with the power of Copilot, we can basically get that data from the directly from the customers of here. So I think, yeah, if you see from here, sorry.
Without learning SQL or needing to.
You can see after she tried to search the data that she wants, actually, this basically goes into the complete search of the unified data that has been captured as part of this customer inside this customer insights. And you can see the results that it basically suggests, and it shows the further suggestion and also SQL query. Before this, we had to write these kind of complex queries to get that.
Engage the analytics team. Martina sees the answer to her question quickly, plus other suggested insights such as average age, event attendance history, and product preferences. The Copilot suggests additional questions to Martina. allowing her to uncover other customer data she may not have previously considered. Martina knows that bar owners are critical to campaign success, so dives in further. These prompts aid marketers like Martina to gain new, deeper understandings about their customers in near real time. With these insights, Martina has confidence that she has the right target audience to drive a successful Negroni Week campaign. She's done all this using Dynamics 365 customer insights, allowing her to take charge of her customer data to deliver effective marketing campaigns and unlock more revenue.
And next is on the marketing. This is the last video I have. So these four, again, as I said, it's very recently released one. And then that basically gives you the complete understanding of what are we expecting in the product to come. And the last one that we're going to see for the day in terms of the video is the marketing.
Martina is a marketer at Campari Group, a worldwide leader in the spirits industry. Campari Group is looking to increase awareness of Negroni Week, an event that celebrates one of the world's greatest cocktails and raises money for global charitable causes. She is using Microsoft Dynamics 365 marketing to send personalized emails to venue owners to get them involved, and she has only 2 days to complete her project. Martina starts by defining the audience for her email. Earlier, she learned from Dynamics 365 customer insights that she should tailor her outreach to bar owners in New York City who participated in last year's Negroni Week. At most companies, this means finding that one person that understands data models and queries to create the target segment. With generative AI targeting, Martina can describe who to send it to in her own words. She then creates a new email from a template, and the co-pilot in Dynamics 365 Marketing asks her what key points she wants to make. Martina needs inspiration for her email content and sees tips and suggestions are quickly provided to her. She decides she wants the key points to be the purpose of Negroni Week and the impact it has made. She sets the tone to adventurous. Setting the tone allows Campari Group, a global company, to tailor the tone of voice for each brand and region's communication style, saving Martina hours of copywriting. With those few simple steps, Martina receives text ideas that will make her job fast and easy. Let's look at a couple of examples. Over the past 10 months, Dynamics 365 Marketing has been working with hundreds of companies and marketing emails in the public domain to tune the generative AI for marketing scenarios. As a result, Martina feels the ideas are exactly what she's looking for. With a couple of clicks, Martina adds the idea to her email. She is able to easily make changes to ensure accuracy and add her own personal touches. What used to take hours now takes a couple of minutes. Martina and other marketers like her are able to focus on delivering the most relevant and engaging content faster than ever. She sends her message and completes her project far ahead of her deadline. With Copilot in Dynamics 365 Marketing, Martina now spends less time on copywriting and audience targeting and more time on creative and strategic efforts.
Yeah, that's the improvisation and how it made the marketing content creation quite easier. And we're running out of time. We have only a few minutes left. So now we are heading into the Power Platform space of it. I don't have the complete, I'm not going to show the complete the use cases or how it's going to be used in Power Platform, but I'm going to just give an introduction of what is happening and what is coming in terms of the AI innovation that's happening within Power Platform along with GPT. So if you have in Power Platform and if you've been using this for a while, you might have seen at the 2021, first Microsoft brought the natural language in Power FX formulas that we use for Canvas app. And then basically that instead of you writing the formula, if you write in a natural language what you want, the platform will suggest the tool, and that's the first one. And then at the same time, they also introduced the natural language for the index for Power BI. And then last year there was natural language introduced to Flow. If you want to create a flow you can just describe what you want, and then it gives you the template to create a flow. And then for the Power Apps for Image and Figma. And then this year, recently, it's pretty much this last week, actually, they bought the Power Virtual Agent, the conversation boosters with ChatGPT and the AI Builder, where they'll be using Azure API model with the templates. And what is yet to be announced, there are more things coming up, but we are not sure at the moment what it is going to be. And what we're going to see now is these two, and we're going to end the session with that. And so the first one, Power Virtual Agent with the conversation booster. So what does that mean? If you have been using Power Virtual Agent to compose the bot, you know that you will be creating the topic, and then you'll be authoring the topic, and then you'll be creating all the conditions and the prompts, and like if any business logic or operation required, you'll be hooking this up to the Power Automate, and then get it done, and then get the response and show it to the bot, and then embed it in your Teams or website. That's what the Power Virtual Agent does, right? And now with the ChatGPT, the conversation booster feature, what it basically does is, instead of you or on top of whatever the custom authoring a topic you created, what bot you can do with the bot now is you can basically specify the website that you want the data from. This could be an internal your website or a company website, whatever it is. In this case, you can see that the website is given as Microsoft.com. So what does it mean? Once you do this, it builds the data model that's available from the information in the Microsoft.com, like FAQ, the product details as such. And once you have that, it basically builds the topics and then the steps by itself. And once you deploy into the website, and then you're good to deploy with your website or your Teams, wherever it is. And then you can see, once you do this in a couple of clicks, you can see that the moment, like you have the Microsoft support bot here, and someone is asking about the Surface laptop, and basically it gives the information about the Surface, right? And normally what happens is, right, if you're using bot, you might know that when the bot encounters a question that it doesn't have an answer, what it does is it either routes to the a contact person, or it's saying that it will ask to re-enter the question a different way because it doesn't understand it. But now what will happen is, with this kind of feature, if the bot doesn't have the answer, it will go and fetch the answer from the using the ChatGPT feature. It basically gets the answer from the internet, and then it's going to get the most suitable answer with that context, and it's going to show it to the customers, right? And the question naturally arises is, if the bot is going to have the internal or the authored topic and also the content from the website, which one does it give preference to? So first preference goes to the internal authored topics. So if it doesn't find any data in them or the answer from the authored topics, then it goes into the information that it's got from as part of this process. Yep. And the last one for the day is going to be the GPT model in the AI builder, and which is one of the another exciting feature that's been released. So you can see, if you've been using Power Automate, and you can pretty much understand what is happening here. It's the connector that has been added as part of the AI builder, and you can see that the moment in the AI builder, you can see there's a create text with GPT on Azure API, Open API service. So what does it mean? If you create, if let's say in this scenario, when an email arrives with, and the information can be a certain content of the email can be passed to AI builder, and then that is connected to the Open API internally, and then it will basically ask for the instruction that you want to create with that, and whether you want to classify any new articles, or you want to do sentiment analysis, or you want to do any extraction points from the email, or if you have more, there are more examples with that. So once you do that, what happens is eventually you get the result out of it, and then you can get the output in virtual the interface you are referring from, either from email or from Dynamics or Power Apps, anywhere. So this is basically in this way, you don't need to basically build those services or consume those, build the APIs or connectors from and consume them. This would directly just give you as another connector in the AI builder, and so that you can just right away consume it in your workflows, Power Automate flows or apps directly. And yep, so that's the quick and recent updates from the product standpoint in terms of using how the Open API and ChatGPT and Azure Open AI, sorry, not Open API, Open AI and Azure Open AI and ChatGPT are used, or currently being quite rapidly introduced in Dynamics 365 customer engagement products and in Power Platform. There are going to be lots of stuffs going to be released, and then there are going to be more interesting features that definitely makes the business much efficient and faster and better. With that, and thank you so much again for the opportunity to all the organizers and the volunteers and all the attendees, especially for sparing some time during the weekend and taking your time to contributing your time for learning. And hope this content that I presented gives you an idea of what the product is evolving and how it has been leveraging the open AI models. And hope you will be doing more research and leveraging it in your business or in your implementations as well. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, Jeevan. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for waking up so early. It's not early, right? It's just like it's
late evening.
It's evening, like yeah. It's late evening. Yeah, I'm based in Sydney, by the way. Yeah, so we are just like neighbors.
Ahead of you.
Yeah, it's just like a one ocean between us, like one sea in between Sydney to Auckland. Some 4 hours flight, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just 2 hours ahead from you. Yeah.
All right. Okay.